The Marina Bay Street Circuit is located in the Marina Bay district of Singapore. The circuit is only a 20-minute drive from Singapore International Airport. Marina Bay is a popular tourist destination, with a good selection of hotels covering a range of budgets. This makes Singapore an incredibly convenient Grand Prix destination for travelling F1 fans. Singapore Airlines, who are the national airline of Singapore, and most national carriers fly directly to Singapore from cities across the globe. Flying indirect can often result in lower airfares with minimum inconvenience, and also enables F1 fans to fly from airports where no direct services exist. Most visitors to Singapore do not require a visa for entry. Visa information can be found on the Visit Singapore website and on the Singapore Ministry of Foreign Affairs website. Marina Bay has a good selection of hotels, ranging from boutique and serviced apartment hotels to luxury 5-star properties, including the world-famous Raffles Singapore. If you've seen the Singapore Grand Prix on TV, you've probably seen some of Marina Bay's landmark hotels, like the Fullerton and the Marina Bay Sands. The combination of a street circuit and the infrastructure of a tourist hotspot like Singapore allows F1 fans the enviable opportunity to stay at the circuit complex, where they can soak up the race atmosphere for the duration of the Grand Prix weekend. Very few Grand Prix circuits have so many hotel rooms in such close proximity. Staying in Marina Bay, you can leave your hotel and be seated in your grandstand in under 20 minutes. Hotels on Orchard Road and Clarke Quay are also popular, but you may feel the need to hop on the metro to get to the circuit, rather than walk in the Singapore humidity. The Singapore Grand Prix takes place on a floodlit street circuit, where sharp twists and turns are plentiful. Choosing the right grandstand can be overwhelming, so let's run through your best options. The main grandstand in Singapore, also referred to as the pit grandstand, is positioned along the start-finish straight, looking towards the pit lane and the pit building. If you'd like a vantage point that allows you to see into the team garages and into the pit lane, then the main grandstand is the grandstand for you. Seating to the left-hand side of the grandstand is positioned opposite the podium, and seating towards the middle of the grandstand is positioned along the starting grid. Super Pit ticket holders are seated in the upper rows in selected blocks with the best views of the team garages, starting grid or finish line. The pit grandstand is also the best place to see the pre-race build-up, as the drivers prepare for lights out. Positioned at the end of the start-finish straight, the Turn 1 and Turn 2 grandstands have panoramic views over the first 3 corners of the circuit. These grandstands are roughly positioned at a right angle to each other. The Turn 1 grandstand sits parallel to the start-finish straight, and the Turn 2 grandstand faces down the start-finish straight, with some seats having a head-on view of the cars as they hurtle towards the first corner. It's a medium speed corner entering into Turn 1, and at Turn 2 it's important for the drivers to prepare their line for Turn 3. The Turns 1 and 2 grandstands are priced at a premium, and rightly so. This is a prime vantage point, perfectly positioned for some first corner wheel-to-wheel action and late-out braking moves. The Bay Grandstand is both the largest and the lowest priced grandstand at the Marina Bay Street Circuit. The Bay Grandstand is a permanent grandstand, looking out towards a floating platform used for various outdoor events. The grandstand and the floating platform are separated by a road, which becomes part of the Formula 1 circuit, with the cars passing from right to left between turns 17 and 18. some views can be limited, and upgrading to the Connaught, Stamford or Padang grandstands is worth considering. The Empress Grandstand is positioned between turns 11 and 12, just before the drivers enter the vaulted arch of the Anderson Bridge, heading towards the Fullerton Hotel. This grandstand gets you really close to the action, as the cars flick right, then left, riding the curbs and kissing the wall on the exit of turn 12. The Stamford Grandstand is positioned along the short section of track between turns 7 and 8. Cars approach from the fastest part of the circuit, before braking hard for the sharp left-hander of Memorial Corner, then pass in front of the Stamford Grandstand before accelerating away towards turn 8. Positioned just before the braking zone of turn 14, this section of circuit has provided some rare overtaking opportunities in the past. With heavy braking into a 90-degree corner, it can be pretty challenging for the drivers, and by this point, tyres can be getting overheated too. The runoff zone here has been the final resting place of several cars and drivers over the years. Located on a straight part of the Marina Bay Street Circuit between turns 9 and 10, the Padang Grandstand is a good vantage point for seeing the cars at high speed. With no braking zones and no DRS, you're unlikely to see any overtaking here. Padang is also the best grandstand for quick access to the evening concerts, which take place just behind the grandstand. Premier Walkabout is the Marina Bay Street Circuit's name for general admission. With a Premier Walkabout ticket, you can explore the circuit, stopping to watch the on-track action from bleachers located around the circuit. Views are okay, but it's first come first served for the best spots. Concerts at the Singapore Grand Prix take place on Friday, Saturday and Sunday evenings. Satellite stages located around the circuit also host artists throughout the race weekend. To take advantage of the concerts, you'll need to have a valid ticket for the Marina Bay Street Circuit on the day of the concert. So a ticket for any grandstand, general admission or hospitality venue will all grant you access. Concerts take place directly behind the Padang Grandstand after the last on-track action of the day. The arena is outdoor with grass underfoot and standing only, similar to an outdoor festival. The easiest way to reach the arena is on foot, providing your ticket allows you to transit the different zones of the circuit. Otherwise, you may need to exit the circuit and re-enter via another entrance closer to the stage. Getting around Singapore is relatively easy, but navigating a street circuit on race weekend can get a little tricky. If you've opted for a hotel in Marina Bay, walking is often the quickest and easiest way to get around. Some roads will be closed to pedestrians, and you may find yourself being routed through underpasses and in and out of shopping centres to navigate your way around the circuit. In some cases, it can be easier to jump on the Singapore subway for a couple of stops. Singapore's subway system is fast, efficient and clean, with increased services running late into the night on race weekend. Most access gates to the circuit are within walking distance of a subway station. There are also designated taxi points located around the entrance gates for both arriving and departing from the circuit.